Prepare to be astonished, dear listeners. It might just send shivers down your spine to realize that some ordinary things we receive from others could be secretly holding us back, like invisible chains. Have you ever paused to consider that the unseen energy clinging to these objects could be subtly directing the course of your life, perhaps even diverting you from your true path? Today, I am going to unveil 15 everyday items that you should never bring into your collection or accept from another, as they might be the very obstacles hindering your progress towards happiness and peace. By the time you reach the end of this discourse, you will grasp the profound influence our possessions can wield and how they might be shaping your existence in ways you've never imagined. But that's not all. Stay tuned because before we delve into this fascinating topic, I have a special gift for you, something that will truly enhance the harmony of your living space. If you aspire to effortlessly elevate the energy within your home, I invite you to claim my ultimate feng shui home checklist, a simple yet powerful guide that will lead you room by room to cultivate serenity, prosperity, and equilibrium throughout your dwelling. Download it now. The gateway awaits you in the comments below. Chapter 1. Why some objects carry negative energy. It's truly remarkable, isn't it, the unseen weight that certain objects can bear? Many items around us, whether they are cherished family treasures, thoughtful gifts, or just everyday things we use, hold a significance far deeper than we often perceive. Think for a moment about something in your home, perhaps a beautiful old ring that was passed down from your grandmother. It might appear lovely and full of sentimental value, but what if it is also silently holding onto past sorrows or unresolved emotions? Objects, you see, are not merely inert things. They're like sponges, absorbing the energy of their surroundings. As the ancient wisdom of Buddhism teaches us, everything in this vast universe is interconnected, interwoven in a web of cause and effect. Just as a tree draws in sunlight and water, objects too absorb the vibrations of the experiences they witness and the emotions they are exposed to. A ring, for instance, can hold within its very being the lingering energy of stress, heartbreak, or even anger from those who possessed it in times past. Have you ever noticed a subtle shift in your own mood, a change in your inner landscape after handling certain items? Perhaps an old box of letters brings about a wave of unease, or a gift that once felt light and joyful now feels strangely heavy in your hands. These objects are not neutral, they carry energy, and sometimes this energy is not in harmony with your current state of being, creating subtle discord in your life. This is where the power of mindfulness enters our story. By becoming aware, truly recognizing which objects in our lives are radiating negative energy, we can begin a process of decluttering, not just our physical space, but also the cluttered spaces within our minds and spirits. Letting go of items that no longer serve our highest good is not simply a practical act of tidying up, it is a profound spiritual act of liberation. It creates a void, an opening for fresh, positive energies to flow into our lives, like a gentle breeze entering a newly opened window. In the heart of Buddhist practice lies the principle of detachment, the wisdom of releasing that which no longer nourishes us. It is about recognizing and gently letting go of the emotional baggage that clings to objects, weighing us down like invisible anchors. The Buddha himself illuminated this path, teaching that releasing attachments, even to physical possessions, frees us from the cycle of suffering and unlocks the gateway to new blessings and profound growth. Now I'm going to tell you the most important thing. Take a moment now to reflect upon your own belongings. Are there things in your life that, when you truly contemplate them, bring you more unease than joy, more burden than lightness? By consciously choosing to let go of these items, you are not just tidying your house, you are creating sacred space for healing and profound transformation to blossom within you. This intentional process resonates deeply with the Buddhist principle of mindfulness, being acutely aware of the energy we carry within us and discerning what no longer serves our journey. By releasing the old, you are actively making room for new opportunities to enter, for enriching relationships to flourish, and for your personal growth to accelerate. As the enlightened Buddha wisely said, when you let go of what you are, you become what you might be. Embrace this transformative process of release, and you will invite greater peace, deeper serenity, and abundant blessings into every facet of your life. Chapter 2. Never collect photos or objects of the dead. We often hear it said that the cherished memories of those we have loved and lost live on within the chambers of our hearts. But what if their presence lingers not only in memory, but also in the objects we hold on to, tangible reminders of their time with us? While photographs and mementos from loved ones who have passed from this life can undoubtedly be cherished as potent symbols of enduring love, they can also, perhaps unexpectedly, carry unresolved emotions and subtle energies that may not always harmonize with the rhythm of our present life. In many spiritual traditions, and indeed within the rich tapestry of Buddhist belief, it is understood that when someone departs from the physical realm, their energy does not always instantly vanish. These objects, imbued with their essence, can become like subtle bridges between the world we perceive with our senses and the unseen spiritual dimensions, potentially inviting unresolved energies into our living spaces. Imagine, for instance, a beautiful piece of jewelry, perhaps a delicate necklace, passed down through generations from someone who experienced significant hardship in their life. It might seem like a precious keepsake, a tangible link to your ancestry, but it could also, unknowingly, carry the weight of their past struggles, their unresolved pain. In the profound teachings of Buddhism, we understand that all things are interconnected, vibrating with subtle energies, and objects are no exception, absorbing and retaining the energetic imprints of their surroundings. This is precisely why we can sometimes experience a subtle, almost imperceptible, shift in our emotions when we hold on to such items from the past. The energy emanating from times gone by may not always resonate harmoniously with our current state of mind, potentially disturbing our inner peace, like a faint discord in an otherwise melodious song. A friend once shared a deeply personal experience with me. She had inherited her grandmother's ring, a cherished family heirloom passed down through generations. However, after her grandmother's passing, she began to feel a persistent, inexplicable discomfort whenever she wore it. Initially, she dismissed this unease as mere sentimentality, a fleeting emotional response to grief. But as time flowed onward, the feeling persisted, and she gradually realized that the ring seemed to be holding onto her grandmother's unresolved pain, her unspoken sorrows. It was only after she undertook a spiritual cleansing of the ring that the unsettling discomfort finally began to fade, like mist dissipating in the morning sun. This poignant story beautifully illustrates the profound way in which objects can truly hold onto the emotional imprints, the energetic signatures of their past owners. So, what then should we do with such objects, imbued with the echoes of the past? Should we simply discard them, casting them aside like unwanted burdens? No, it is not about rejection, but about approaching them with mindful respect and understanding. If these items hold deep personal significance, if they are truly necessary for you to keep and cherish, then it becomes crucial to spiritually cleanse them before displaying them in your home or storing them away. One effective method for cleansing is through smudging with sage, an ancient practice revered for its ability to clear away negative energies, like sweeping away dust from a sacred space. Another gentle yet powerful approach is to place them under the soft glow of the moonlight, allowing its purifying luminescence to gently cleanse and renew them. This process is not about erasing the past, nor is it about disrespecting the memories associated with these objects. Rather, it is about creating sacred space for the present moment and the unfolding future, ensuring that the energy you carry within your life is in harmony with your current aspirations and dreams. Buddhist teachings gently guide us towards mindful detachment, encouraging us to acknowledge and honor the past without allowing it to define or constrain us. By thoughtfully cleansing and treating these objects with reverence and care, we can ensure that they remain cherished symbols of love and remembrance, rather than becoming unintended burdens that weigh us down. As the Buddha wisely stated, to hold on to things is to be held by them. By consciously cleansing and honoring these objects from the past, we gently free ourselves from their potential hold, allowing space for growth, inner peace, and spiritual harmony to gracefully flow into our lives. This delicate balance between honoring the rich tapestry of our past and living fully present in the vibrant now is truly the key to creating a life enriched by cherished memories, yet unbound by their potential shadows. Chapter 3. Never accept sharp objects as gifts. Have you ever been presented with a knife, a razor, or any other sharp object as a gift? While these items might seem like thoughtful gestures, perhaps symbols of appreciation for craftsmanship or utility, they can, surprisingly, carry hidden spiritual risks that we often overlook. Sharp objects, by their very nature, are often symbolically tied to themes of division, of cutting apart, of potential conflict, and even aggression. Accepting such a gift can, unintentionally and subtly, invite negative energy into your life, potentially attracting bad luck, fostering strained relationships, or even causing spiritual disruptions in your inner landscape. In the profound philosophy of Buddhism, we understand that everything in existence possesses energy, a subtle vibration that permeates all things. Sharp objects, with their inherent nature to sever and divide, symbolically represent this very act of separation. Energetically, they can potentially cut bonds between people who were once close, strain existing relationships, and even disrupt the delicate balance of your own inner peace. An ancient Buddhist story, passed down through generations, tells of a young monk who received a beautifully crafted ceremonial knife as a gift. Though outwardly stunning, the monk found himself inexplicably filled with discomfort and noticed increasing strain in his interactions with others. Seeking wisdom from a respected elder, he learned that the knife, despite its beauty, carried within it the energetic imprint of aggression and division. Through a gentle cleansing ritual, the monk was able to restore balance and inner peace, both within himself and in his relationships. If you ever find yourself in the uncomfortable situation of receiving such a gift, do not dismiss any feelings of unease that might arise within you. In Buddhist practice, there is a simple yet effective solution to neutralize the potential negative energy associated with sharp gifts. Exchange it for a small coin. This seemingly insignificant gesture, rooted in ancient wisdom, symbolically neutralizes the potentially negative energy attached to the object, restoring energetic balance and protecting the harmony of your space. Remember, dear listener, it is not simply about the physical gift itself, but about the subtle energy it carries, the unseen vibrations it emanates. By cultivating mindfulness in our interactions with the world around us, we can ensure that even well-intentioned gifts, especially those that are sharp, do not inadvertently disrupt our inner peace or the harmony of our relationships. Through simple rituals of cleansing and thoughtful exchange, we can actively protect our own energy field and cultivate a life filled with greater harmony and balance. The profound teachings of Buddhism gently remind us that material attachments can often lead to suffering, but by understanding the subtle energies that objects can carry, we can learn to live with greater mindfulness, wisdom, and inner balance. Chapter 4. Shoes, a symbol of your life's journey. When we consider shoes, our thoughts often remain on the surface, focusing on them as a mere practical necessity, something we slip on each day without giving much thought to any deeper significance they might hold. But shoes, in their essence, are far more than simply items we wear to shield our feet from the ground. In a myriad of subtle ways, they serve as a potent symbol of the very journey we are walking through life, each and every day. Every tiny mark, every scuff that tells of encounters with rough terrain, every gentle crease in the leather that speaks of countless steps taken, all these details weave together a silent story about the unique path we have traveled. They whisper of our struggles, our moments of triumph, the places we have journeyed to, both near and far, and the myriad choices we have made that have shaped our present moment. Buddhism, in its profound wisdom, teaches us that our path in life is not a straight, predictable line. Rather, it is a beautiful, intricate tapestry woven from a series of interconnected moments and decisions, each one gently leading us to the precise point where we stand now. And much like the unfolding of our life's journey, the shoes we choose to wear serve as a tangible reflection of that unique path. They carry the subtle imprints of our experiences, the echoes of our steps, and the unseen energy we have encountered and absorbed along the way. But what happens, then, when we knowingly or unknowingly step into someone else's shoes, quite literally? Imagine this scenario. You discover a beautiful, perhaps vintage, pair of shoes at a second-hand store, full of character and charm, or perhaps a friend generously offers you a pair they no longer have a need for. At first glance, you might not give a second thought to slipping them onto your feet. After all, shoes are simply meant to protect our feet and carry us through our day, right? But on a deeper, more symbolic level, shoes represent movement, progress, and the very direction we are taking in our lives. When we choose to wear someone else's shoes, we may be unknowingly taking on more than just their style. We may be subtly absorbing their energy, their past struggles, and even their emotional baggage, like unseen weight clinging to our feet. There exists an ancient Buddhist parable, a story passed down through generations, about a traveler who embarked upon a long and arduous journey. As he traveled, weary and footsore, he stopped at a humble inn seeking rest and respite. There, he encountered an elder, a wise soul who had journeyed far and wide in his own life. The elder, noticing the traveler's worn and tattered shoes, offered him a seemingly generous gift, a new pair of shoes that had been left behind by a previous guest. The traveler, overcome with gratitude for this unexpected kindness, gratefully put them on without hesitation. However, as he continued his journey, a strange feeling began to creep into his heart, a heaviness, a deep sense of weariness that he could not quite explain, an unseen weight slowing his steps. The shoes, though undeniably comfortable and new to him, seemed to carry an unseen weight, an intangible burden. It was then, with dawning awareness, that he realized the shoes were not just inanimate objects. They held the lingering energy of the person who had worn them before him. The shoes, though new to him, had absorbed the unseen burdens, the unspoken sorrows of their previous owner, and he was now, unknowingly, carrying that weight with each and every step. This profound parable beautifully illustrates a deeper truth. Shoes are not merely objects we use to shield our feet from the ground. They are, in a subtle yet significant way, carriers of energy. Every pair we wear, but especially second-hand shoes that have walked a path before our own, can carry the energetic imprints of the person who wore them before us. The emotional and spiritual energy they have absorbed, the experiences they have witnessed, can subtly influence our own journey, our own steps forward in life. If the previous owner of the shoes experienced hardship, prolonged stress, or unresolved emotional struggles, that energy may, in a subtle way, cling to the shoes and, by extension, to the person who wears them now, creating subtle disharmony in their own path. This is not to suggest that second-hand shoes are inherently negative or that we should avoid them altogether. Instead, it is about cultivating mindfulness, about becoming consciously aware of the energy we may be taking on when we choose to wear them. The practice of mindfulness, a central pillar in Buddhist teachings, gently encourages us to be present, to be aware of the world around us and the subtle energies we interact with, both seen and unseen. By becoming more conscious of the items we wear, the objects we surround ourselves with, and how they might subtly affect us, we take greater ownership of our own path, our own journey through life, and the energy we carry with us each step of the way. To actively protect your own energy field and ensure that your life's journey remains clear of unwanted burdens, it is wise and beneficial to cleanse any second-hand shoes before you begin wearing them. This act of cleansing is not just a physical act of cleaning dirt or grime. It is a spiritual act of purification, of clearing away any lingering energies that may not serve your highest good. You can begin this cleansing process by simply walking barefoot on fresh, vibrant grass or directly on the earth itself, consciously grounding yourself and releasing any accumulated negative energy that may have attached itself to you. The earth itself is a natural purifier, a grounding force that absorbs and transmutes negative energy. Walking barefoot upon it can help you reconnect with your own innate energy, allowing you to release anything that no longer serves your well-being. Another simple yet profoundly effective ritual is sprinkling the inside of the shoes with salt. Salt, revered for centuries across many cultures and spiritual traditions, is a potent tool for purification. It acts as a natural absorber of negative energy, drawing it away and leaving the space or object it touches feeling cleaner, lighter, and more positive. By using salt in this way, you're creating an energetic buffer, a protective shield between yourself and any lingering energy that might be subtly residing within the shoes. Additionally, the simple yet powerful act of setting a strong, clear intention can work wonders in cleansing and preparing second-hand shoes for your journey. Before putting them on for the first time, take a quiet moment to pause, to center yourself, and to consciously focus on your intentions. Breathe deeply, allowing yourself to become present in your body, and visualize yourself walking forward with lightness and grace, unburdened by the past. Set a clear intention that these shoes will now support you on your own unique journey, free from any negative or stagnant energy that may have been absorbed from their previous path. This simple act of setting intention resonates deeply with the Buddhist principle of right intention, being mindful of what we consciously bring into our lives and how we mindfully use it to support our own growth and well-being. There is an ancient, resonant saying in Buddhism, "The path is made by walking." This profound wisdom reminds us that life is not about passively waiting for opportunities to magically appear before us, but rather about actively stepping forward with awareness, with intention, and with purpose. Shoes, in this context, are not just about the physical act of moving from one place to another. They represent the very steps we take on our journey towards our greater purpose, our deeper fulfillment in life. By consciously cleansing and purifying the energy of the shoes we wear, we ensure that each and every step we take is aligned with our highest potential, free from the unseen burdens of others, and guided by our own inner compass. When we choose to wear someone else's shoes without first taking the time to cleanse them, we may unknowingly take on their burdens, their unresolved fears, or their stagnant energies. These subtle, unseen energies can act as subtle weights, slowing us down on our path, clouding our judgment, and even subtly influencing the very direction of our lives. But by embracing simple rituals of cleansing, by setting clear intentions, and by cultivating mindful awareness, we can reclaim our own power, take conscious ownership of our journey, and keep our path clear of any unwanted energetic baggage. Life, much like the journey of a traveler, is filled with unexpected twists and turns, and it is ultimately up to us to consciously choose the path we walk, the direction we take. Every single step matters, each footfall leaves an imprint. So, when you put on your shoes today, whether they are brand new or gently used, remember the subtle energy they may carry, the unseen story they may whisper. Cleanse them with intention, set your heart's purpose, and step forward with clarity, purpose, and an open heart. Your journey is uniquely yours, and each step you take is a reflection of the energy you bring with you. Make sure it is the kind of energy that will lovingly guide you towards where you truly desire to go, towards the fulfillment of your deepest aspirations. Chapter 5. Cursed Money, the Trap That Blocks Wealth. Have you ever received a sum of money that, for some inexplicable reason, just didn't feel quite right? Perhaps it was a generous gift from a friend, an unexpectedly large tip for a service rendered, or a sudden windfall that seemed to appear out of nowhere. Initially, you might have felt a surge of gratitude, a flicker of excitement at this unexpected financial gain. But shortly thereafter, you may have found yourself inexplicably caught up in an unforeseen financial struggle, facing an unplanned expense that drained the newfound funds, or encountering sudden debts that seemed to materialize from thin air. If this has ever happened to you, you might have brushed it off as mere coincidence, a random series of unfortunate events. But the truth, as understood in many spiritual traditions, including the ancient wisdom of Buddhism, is that money, like all things, carries the subtle energy of its previous owner. And if that individual was experiencing negative emotions, prolonged stress, or harbored ill intentions, that energy can, in a subtle way, be transferred to the money itself and, by extension, to you, the receiver. This fascinating phenomenon is not simply rooted in superstition or folklore. It is deeply grounded in the understanding that everything in the universe vibrates with an energetic frequency, a subtle hum that permeates all things, and money is no exception. In the interconnected worldview of Buddhism, everything in this vast world is intrinsically linked, and the fundamental law of karma teaches us that our actions are spoken words. And even the objects we possess can hold onto the energetic imprints of the past, like echoes resonating through time. Money, in this sense, is no different. It too can absorb and carry these subtle energetic signatures. Think for a moment about those times when you may have received a sum of money from someone who was perhaps going through a particularly challenging period in their life, someone who is burdened by stress, anxiety, or filled with negative emotions. That energy, those unseen vibrations, does not simply vanish into thin air. It subtly attaches itself to the money itself, like an invisible layer, and you, as the recipient, might unknowingly inherit those energies, absorbing them into your own energetic field. The enlightened Buddha once wisely stated, "The mind is everything. What you think, you become." This profound wisdom extends far beyond the realm of our conscious thoughts. It gently touches upon every aspect of our existence, everything we encounter in our daily lives, including our relationship with material possessions like money. If money is, in a subtle way, tainted by negativity, if it carries the energetic imprint of struggle or hardship, it can, perhaps unexpectedly, block the natural flow of prosperity and abundance in our own lives, creating unseen obstacles on our path to financial well-being. This is precisely why, in Buddhist practice, it is considered deeply important to cultivate mindfulness not just in our actions and thoughts, but also in our awareness of the subtle energies that surround us, especially when it comes to material things like money, which play such a significant role in our modern world. To actively protect yourself from the potential negative energy that may be unknowingly attached to money you receive, take a moment, a brief pause, to cleanse any money that comes into your possession before you spend it or integrate it into your financial flow. This simple practice is both accessible and powerfully effective. Gently hold the cash in your hands, feeling its texture, and visualize it surrounded by a radiant, luminous energy, a bright, golden light filled with positivity. See it glowing with abundance, prosperity, and the potential for positive growth. Affirm, either silently in your mind or aloud if you prefer, that this money will bring nothing but good into your life, that it will be a source of positive energy and contribute to your well-being. In doing so, you are symbolically severing any potential negative ties to the past owner's energy, gently releasing any unwanted vibrations, and actively inviting positive, abundant energy into your own financial space, like opening a window to let in fresh air. This small, mindful ritual, deeply rooted in the principles of awareness and intention, helps to ensure that money works harmoniously for you, supporting your well-being and growth, rather than inadvertently working against you, creating unseen obstacles on your path. Chapter 6. Never accept or borrow a mirror. Mirrors, in our everyday lives, are often perceived as simply reflective surfaces, tools we use to check our appearance, to ensure we are presentable to the world. But in many cultures around the globe, and in ancient wisdom traditions, mirrors are understood to be far more than just inanimate objects. They are often considered to be portals, subtle gateways to other dimensions, acting as thresholds between the seen and the unseen. They are believed to reflect not only the physical image in front of them, but also the subtle energy of those who have gazed into their depths, the emotional and spiritual imprints left behind by countless reflections. According to ancient wisdom, the energy left behind in a mirror by those who have used it can linger, subtly influencing the environment around it and the energy of the person who uses it subsequently. If you choose to accept or borrow a mirror from someone else, especially a mirror that has been used for a long time or holds a history you are unaware of, you may be unknowingly inviting their energetic imprint into your personal space. Whether that energy is predominantly positive or, perhaps, tinged with negativity. In the profound philosophy of Buddhism, the concept of reflection extends far beyond the purely physical realm of light bouncing off a surface. The very act of seeing ourselves reflected in a mirror is deeply symbolic of how we reflect upon our own lives, how we contemplate our inner selves, our actions, and our choices. But mirrors, in this deeper symbolic sense, can also reflect the energies of the past, the echoes of emotions and experiences that have been imprinted upon them over time. And when we choose to take possession of someone else's mirror, to bring it into our lives, we may unknowingly be inviting their unresolved emotions, their past struggles, or even negative patterns into our own energetic field, subtly influencing our own inner landscape. I recall a poignant story from a cherished Buddhist teaching that beautifully illustrates this very point. A young monk, newly arrived at the monastery, was kindly given an old, well-used mirror by one of the senior monks, a gesture of welcome and support. The senior monk had used this particular mirror for many years, and though it was a simple, unassuming object, it held within its reflective surface the accumulated weight of countless moments experienced within the monastery walls, both joyful and challenging, serene and turbulent. The young monk, grateful for the gift, began to use the mirror daily, as one naturally would. However, he soon began to notice unsettling emotions rising within him, feelings of confusion, unexpected doubt, and a general sense of unrest that seemed to have no clear origin. Troubled by this inner turmoil, he sought wise counsel from the abbot, the spiritual leader of the monastery. The abbot, with gentle wisdom, explained that the mirror, though seemingly inert, had subtly absorbed the energetic imprint of its previous owner, the senior monk. The mirror, like a window into the soul, had reflected not just the physical world, but also the emotions, the struggles, and the inner landscape of the person who had used it before. Therefore, before you choose to use a borrowed or accepted mirror, especially one with an unknown history, take a moment to cleanse it spiritually, to clear away any lingering energies that may not be your own. One effective method is to gently smudge it with sage, allowing the sacred smoke to purify its surface and energetic field. Another simple yet powerful approach is to place it under the soft, purifying glow of the moonlight overnight, allowing the natural forces of nature to cleanse and renew it. As you cleanse the mirror, consciously set the intention that only your own pure energy, your own authentic reflection, is reflected back to you from this point forward. This simple act of spiritual cleansing ensures that your personal space remains energetically clear, free from the unwanted or unresolved energies of others, and that you maintain your own inner peace, clarity, and sense of self. Chapter 7. Never collect salt from another person. Salt, a seemingly humble substance we use in our kitchens every day, is far more than just a simple cooking ingredient. It holds immense spiritual significance across a vast array of cultures, including within the rich spiritual traditions of Buddhism, where it is deeply believed to possess powerful properties to purify, protect, and preserve. In ancient times, long before modern refrigeration, salt was not only essential for preserving food, preventing spoilage and decay, but also for protecting people and spaces from negative energies, acting as a subtle shield against unseen influences. Salt is understood to be a natural purifier, a substance that has the remarkable ability to absorb negative energy, drawing it away from its surroundings and preventing it from spreading or taking root. But what then happens when you choose to accept salt from another person, to bring salt that has been in someone else's possession into your own home? Salt, like many other items we use in our daily lives, can subtly absorb the energy of the person who possesses it, the individual who has handled it and kept it in their space. If you accept salt from someone who is currently going through a period of emotional turmoil, experiencing significant confusion in their life, or even facing financial hardship, you might, unknowingly, take on a subtle aspect of their energetic state. The salt, in this instance, could potentially carry their burdens, their unresolved anxieties, and when you use it in your own home or consume it, those subtle burdens may, in a subtle way, manifest in your own life, creating unseen disharmony. To proactively protect your own energetic field, to safeguard your inner peace and well-being, it is always wise to maintain your own personal supply of salt, one that is untouched by the influences of others. One that is energetically pure and aligned with your own intentions. Think of your personal salt supply as a form of spiritual armor, a subtle shield that protects you from unwanted energies. This salt, kept and used solely by you, represents your own positive energy, your own clear intentions, ensuring that you remain grounded, protected, and energetically clear from any external negativity that may seek to impinge upon your space. Whether you use it for spiritual purification rituals, for culinary purposes, or simply to subtly protect the energetic harmony of your home, maintaining your own personal supply of salt, untouched by others, helps you to safeguard your inner clarity, your overall well-being, and the energetic integrity of your living space. Chapter 8. Wigs and hair extensions. Hidden spiritual dangers. Hair, often viewed as simply a physical characteristic, a part of our outward appearance, is understood in many spiritual traditions to be far more than just strands of protein. It is considered to be a potent vessel of personal energy, a living antenna that both receives and transmits subtle vibrations. Every single strand of hair, it is believed, carries with it the emotional and spiritual imprints of the person to whom it once belonged, holding onto the energetic history of their experiences, both conscious and unconscious. When you choose to wear wigs or hair extensions that have come from someone else, you are, perhaps unknowingly, tapping into their energetic field, connecting with their subtle vibrations. Whether those past experiences were predominantly positive and joyful, or marked by struggle and negativity, the energetic residue from that person's life is, in a subtle way, woven into each and every strand of hair. Buddhist teachings, deeply rooted in the understanding of interconnectedness, emphasize the profound truth that all beings are interwoven in a web of subtle energetic exchange. Because of this fundamental interconnectedness, the energy we exchange with others, whether consciously and intentionally or unknowingly and passively, can subtly influence our own energetic state, our own inner landscape. If you choose to wear someone else's hair, in the form of a wig or extensions, you may, unintentionally and subtly, absorb their past struggles, their unresolved anxieties, or even their misfortunes, like taking on an unseen energetic weight. One compelling story, passed down through Buddhist folklore, tells of a woman who, seeking to enhance her appearance, began to wear a beautiful wig that had once belonged to someone who had lived through immense hardship, a life marked by significant challenges and sorrows. Shortly after she began wearing the wig, she noticed her own life inexplicably becoming filled with unexpected difficulties, a sudden influx of emotional turmoil, unforeseen financial problems, and unexpected struggles in her relationships. Perplexed and troubled by this sudden shift in her life's trajectory, she sought guidance from a wise spiritual counselor. She was gently told that the wig she was wearing was, in a subtle way, carrying the unresolved energy of its previous owner. The accumulated weight of their past hardships was subtly influencing her own life path. Following the counselor's guidance, she performed a cleansing ritual specifically for the wig, gently clearing away any lingering negative energies. Gradually, as time unfolded, her life began to return to a state of balance and harmony, the unexplained difficulties slowly dissipating. If you choose to wear wigs or hair extensions for personal or aesthetic reasons, it becomes crucial to take the extra step of cleansing them spiritually, ensuring that you are not unknowingly taking on unwanted energies from their previous source. Smudging them gently with the sacred smoke of sage, or soaking them in salt water, known for its purifying properties, can help to effectively clear away any lingering negative energy that may be subtly attached to the hair. By taking these simple yet mindful steps to purify these items before wearing them, you can actively protect your own energetic field, maintain your own spiritual clarity, and ensure that you are not inadvertently absorbing unwanted influences from external sources. Chapter 9. Secondhand Jewelry and Accessories. Jewelry, often small and seemingly insignificant objects, frequently holds immense sentimental value, becoming tangible vessels for cherished memories and emotional connections. Jewelry, passed down through generations, can carry within it the echoes of countless stories, the whispers of past experiences, and the subtle imprints of emotional energy from its past owners. Think for a moment about a ring that has been lovingly passed down through generations within a family lineage, a ring perhaps once worn by someone who experienced significant financial struggles, or a delicate necklace that was once worn during a period of deep heartbreak and sorrow. The energetic imprint of those past experiences, those unresolved emotions, can, in a subtle way, attach itself to the jewelry itself, like an invisible layer, and, unknowingly, be transferred to you when you choose to wear it, subtly influencing your own energetic field. Before you begin wearing secondhand jewelry, especially pieces with an unknown history or provenance, it is wise and beneficial to cleanse it spiritually, gently clearing away any unwanted energies that may be lingering within its form. Embrace simple yet effective rituals such as smudging the jewelry with sage, allowing the purifying smoke to envelop it, or placing the item under the gentle, cleansing light of the full moon overnight. These mindful acts of purification help to ensure that the jewelry you choose to wear serves you positively, enhancing your own energy and well-being, rather than unknowingly carrying the emotional baggage or unresolved energies of someone else's past, subtly creating disharmony in your present. Chapter 10. Handkerchiefs and Personal Cloth Items. Handkerchiefs, often seen as just practical items, small pieces of cloth we carry for everyday use, possess a deeper, often overlooked significance. They absorb far more than just physical dirt and grime. They also, in a subtle way, soak up emotional and spiritual energy, becoming like energetic sponges. Think for a moment about the times you have used a handkerchief, perhaps when you were experiencing illness, overwhelmed by stress, or deeply grieving a loss. These seemingly insignificant items, touched by your skin and used during moments of heightened emotion, can absorb and retain the subtle energies tied to those moments, becoming imbued with your emotional state. If you choose to accept or share a handkerchief with another person, especially one that has already been used, you may unknowingly take on a subtle aspect of the burdens, the emotional state, or the energetic residue of the person who used it before you. Therefore, cultivate mindfulness when it comes to sharing or receiving personal cloth items, especially handkerchiefs and similar items that come into close contact with the body and absorb personal energies. Consider the potential emotional or spiritual weight they may carry, the unseen energetic exchange that might occur. Before using such items, especially if they are borrowed or secondhand, it is important to cleanse them spiritually, ensuring that they do not carry the emotional residue of past struggles, the lingering energies of others. Just as we mindfully cleanse our physical bodies, so too should we be mindful of cleansing the objects that come into close contact with our energetic field. The objects we consciously choose to surround ourselves with, the items we bring into our homes and lives, all carry energy, and the things we accept from others can subtly influence our spiritual path, shaping our energetic landscape. Whether it is a seemingly thoughtful gift, a charming second-hand item, or an apparently harmless everyday object, each piece carries with it a subtle energetic signature that can, in unseen ways, impact our lives. By cultivating mindfulness in our choices, by becoming aware of the subtle energies around us, and by embracing simple yet effective cleansing rituals, we can actively protect our personal space, safeguard our energetic well-being, and consciously ensure that we are attracting positive influences into our lives, fostering harmony and balance in our journey. Watch to the end, and you'll find out the most important thing. If you have found today's insights valuable, if this discourse has resonated with your inner wisdom, please offer us a thumbs up, a gesture of acknowledgement, and consider subscribing to our community for more explorations into the realms of mindful living and spiritual understanding. Your breakthrough, your journey towards greater clarity, peace, and wisdom truly begins today, in this very moment. Embrace it with an open heart, with mindful awareness, and with the gentle strength of inner knowing.